One of the most powerful and underutilized strategies to scale and grow an Amazon brand is leveraging YouTube influencers. In this video, I'm going to break down my end-to-end 8-step process on how you can capitalize on one of the biggest opportunities in the Amazon game. Let's go. Hey guys, welcome to Heist, the YouTube channel that is all things scaling Amazon brands. We get into deep dive strategies so you can get to 7 figures and beyond. One of the most powerful launching and brand building strategies out there in the ecosystem today is leveraging YouTube influencers. It's a powerful strategy for launch, and it's a powerful strategy for maintaining, growing, and scaling a next level Amazon brand. And today's video breaks it all down. Be sure to stay throughout because I'm going to drop a hint as to how to access the 8-step SOP and tracker spreadsheet that we uncover in this video. So let's start off by answering the question, why should we care about using YouTube influencers? There's really 5 powerful elements that come from this strategy. The first, and probably one of the coolest things about YouTube, is its evergreen content. So once it's put out there as a video, it lasts for years and years and years and continues to grow views and ultimately clicks through to your Amazon listing. One of the biggest downsides to, say, Instagram influencers or TikTok influencers is it's really lightning in a ball of traffic. So it's great for a day or two, but beyond that, it really doesn't live on. YouTube is the exact opposite. And this longevity, this consistent traffic source can be incredibly powerful for an Amazon product. The second is content. Video is very difficult, and it's certainly a niche skill that you would have to go out and pay a decent amount of money to get your own content created. Leveraging YouTube influencers, whether it's an unboxing video or some kind of a content-based video, creates powerful content that you can repurpose on your own site, in your Amazon listing, and throughout your brand assets that you have. Additionally, you're using the embedded trust of the influencer and their audience. It's one thing for you to say or show your product. It's a completely different one to take somebody in the niche space that you're going after and sharing your product story from their perspective. The third is volume and SEO. YouTube has slowly become one of the massive search engines for where people seek information. As they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, a video is worth hundreds of thousands of words because it encapsulates a medium that is very difficult to replicate across any other strategy that an Amazon seller has at their disposal. Fourth, and I've talked about this a lot with my ranking strategies, is Amazon loves external traffic, and YouTube is certainly no different. The tag that comes from the external traffic from YouTube to your listing creates embedded rank juice, and Amazon will credit your listing for this traffic, whether or not they buy. And then the fifth and final advantage, I think, is this is a massive brand building skill. I think that version 1.0 of Amazon sellers was really just your 2014 to 2015 eBayers that saw an opportunity on Amazon and had a massive first mover advantage. And during that era, it was about like posting up anything, and a lot of them would generate significant volume in sales. Version 2.0 of the Amazon seller, which I think we're actually just ending that era, is the Amazon seller that could also take data to make informed decisions to be successful on Amazon. Version 3.0 of the Amazon seller, which is the era I believe that we're in now, is about building brands, combining data with visuals and an omni-channel strategy to drive interest, attention, and growth in your brand and Amazon products. And this strategy weaves very nicely into that 3.0 brand building Amazon seller. So let's get into the 8-step process. All right, guys, so we're going to go over an 8-step end-to-end process that I leverage to take advantage of YouTube influencers for my Amazon brands. This stuff is not rocket science. It is not overly complicated. And I think that after watching the sequence, I think you can implement it in your brand today. I'm also going to place a link pinned comment down below where you can access this SOP that I'm about to go over, as well as the tracker sheet and keyword planning tool that we're also going to uncover. So if you want access to that, hit that link down below. I'm going to ask for your email. I'm not a spammer. You'll probably get an email from me literally every once in a while when it's relevant. So I'm not going to kind of hit your inbox up a lot, but I would like your email because I'm a marketer and who knows, maybe I'll use it someday. So step one in this process, we're going to head over to YouTube. I'm going to use the example of the gardening niche, which I've also used in other videos and examples like my keyword masterclass video. So step number one is to come into YouTube and type in a descriptive word for your niche category and or for your product that you have. So let's say I've got a greenhouse product. I'd probably type in gardening greenhouse. In this case, if I'm talking about more of a generic category product that could impact the broader audience of the niche, I may just want to start with the higher level keyword that describes the overall category, like gardening. So I've gone in here, I've just typed in gardening. Similar to Amazon, it'll also come up with some suggestions when you start typing in, so you may want to check one of those sub-suggestions to give you some additional ideas. And then it's pretty organic and simple. You just kind of come through here and you look for compelling, interesting videos that you think align with your brand and that you think your product may be a fit for. So this one's kind of interesting here. So this is a dude here. He's got 350,000 subscribers, which is pretty cool. And he's got like a little thing on how to grow your food for free. So he's probably in the niche of gardening, which is kind of interesting. Bit more of a younger demographic too. So if you've got kind of a brand that's oriented around more of your kind of 25 to 45 age group, this might be kind of interesting too. So this one's cool. This strategy is all about a numbers game. You kind of want to make sure that they have a decent audience size, that their content is oriented around what your niche is, and then you can just add them to the list. So this guy's pretty interesting. So what I like to do is copy in their name, and then I come over here to the keyword tracker, pop that in there, boom, like that. The sub count is around 357K. And then what I like to do is you come into the channel here, click on their name. This is going to be their overarching channel. I copy that link in as well. And then here's what's amazing. And this is lightning in a bottle strategy for finding and contacting YouTube influencers, is there is an about page here. So if you click on the about page, it's going to describe this channel. Obviously this guy is in the gardening niche, which is kind of cool. And this kind of reveals that. And then here, details for business inquiries, you can go view email address. So you click on that here. It's going to ask you to kind of validate that you're not a robot, so that there's not people data scraping this. And then boom, I've got this guy's email address. So I also copy that into my tracker here. So I copy that into my tracker, got their email, and that's it. I then want to rank these based on relevance, like how bad do I want them? So this guy's got a decent size. If I'm really into this niche and know that this is one of the leading influencers in the space, maybe I give them a 9 out of 10. And this will help me sort to determine if they ask for money down the line instead of just product, what value they may bring and how interested I may be in paying additional money. So that's kind of one. And then literally it's a numbers game, guys. So I recommend getting 50 plus of these coming in. You may want to use different keywords. You're going to get down to, the deep reaches of YouTube and kind of come down the line. You can start looking at suggested videos, but you want to spend a solid half day to day or have somebody on your team using this SOP to compile as many of these as you possibly can. So coming back to the YouTube influence SOP here. So step one is to find a generic search term or a descriptor of the product to uncover videos and potential channels. You want to click on brand aligned, highly viewed videos and channels that you think would align well with your brand. You want to copy all the relevant information into a tracker sheet. And then step four, it's a numbers game, right? You want to gather 50 plus of these if you can. It is definitely a lot of rejection when you start to reach out to them. So either they won't respond or you can't just align on offer. Maybe they want more money than you're willing to pay. That's totally fine. That's why we reach out to as many as we can. So the next step is to get into communications. And I like to use 3 communications to this email. Try to customize the email a little bit or have like a sentence that you can customize so it doesn't seem like a boilerplate email. But you basically want to, tell them why you like their channel, tell them what you're trying to do with your own brand, and how you would like to partner with them both for this product or opportunity as well as into the future. And then present your offer. If it's a lower ticket product, depending on the audience size, you may need to pay a little bit of money. So you may want to kind of reveal that in the note. Be like, hey, I've got this product I'm launching. I want to get it in your hands, as well as come to an agreement on a fee that makes sense for both sides. So at least they know that there's money in the game. If it's a more expensive product, let's say I'm literally selling like a portable canvas greenhouse that costs $500, you may be able to get away with product only. So think about how you want to structure your offer depending on the relevance and audience size, and kind of have a couple of those emails kind of built out. So I'll send one email, and obviously the return rates kind of depend on the influencer, frankly. Sometimes it's a little bit of luck, but generally speaking, you're not always going to get them on the first email. So I like to use a 3 email sequence strategy, space them out a couple days. So send a reminder 2 to 3 days after the original if they haven't responded. And then I'll wait 2 to 3 more days and kind of have a more Hail Mary type email that kind of gives it one last college try to get them to respond. If you know their Instagram, you can reach out to them on Instagram as well. You can also comment on their various channel videos, letting them know that you've reached out. So you can kind of use an omni-channel approach, but I like to use the 3 email sequence. You can again use this tracker. If say I've sent this email one to them, you can put yes in here, and then again kind of document the process throughout, add notes as I go, and then just rinse and repeat. You want to do that as many times as you can to cultivate as many possible relationships as possible. So after you've drafted the emails and you've kind of sequenced your follow-ups in the tracker, when you get a fish on the line and somebody that's interested in working with you, and you start to kind of land on terms, whether that's free product or product plus some kind of a fee, you then want to kind of orient things around what you actually want to implement. So what's the kind of content you want to develop, as well as especially if you're paying, I like to put just a very generic agreement together that just says, hey, I'm paying you for this. Here's my expectations. Here's my timeline, etc. That gives you the ability, especially if you're paying via PayPal, to claw the money back if you send them product and send them money and they actually don't post a video and don't do it in a fashion that you agreed to. Pretty rare, but when you're forking over money, especially, it's good to kind of outline some of the terms in a quick little kind of legal agreement. So the final step, once you've found somebody that's interested in working with you, you've come together on what the scope of the relationship is going to be, you've got a contract together, and you've kind of got things in motion, is to try to figure out and orient the content and, more importantly, keywords that you want to leverage with your video. In terms of content, I like to be pretty flexible with the YouTuber and let them use their own creativity and their own knowledge of the audience to weave in the product concept. Some of these might be explicit, like you want explicitly an open boxing video, so that could be pretty explicit. If you just want them to talk about your product in the guise of their niche and customers, I like to give them creative freedom. However, one thing that I like to have an influence in when the content's getting created is the keywords that they use in their title, description, and back-end keywords. So let's go over to YouTube and I'll kind of show you what this looks like. So let's kind of click back on this guy's video here. So you can kind of just see based on the title what keywords that they've got. Sometimes they'll have some like garden hacks. You can see some other keywords in here. The tool that I use is called TubeBuddy. And with TubeBuddy, it adds a little button here that gives you additional insights that the average person looking on YouTube can't see. In fact, I use this a lot with this heist channel to determine what keywords to put in my title and back end to get the most eyeballs and the most visibility for my channel in organic search within YouTube. So one of the things is the back end tags that are used. So you can kind of see here all of the tags that this guy's used in his particular video. Very similar to back-end keywords on Amazon, the exact same thing kind of exists on YouTube. And very similar to Amazon listings, they're going to give you a lot of credit for your title, and the number of keywords and relevance of the keywords for this particular video will give them insights into who they should serve this video up to. So TubeBuddy could be really good for determining what your keywords might be. So if I come into Keyword Explorer as an example, so gardening ideas for home, and it's going to give me a score based on how much volume it has, how much competitiveness it has, how easily a YouTube video could potentially rank for this keyword. So this is saying the search volume is decent, but tons of competition. So again, very similarly, you can kind of pick the long tail keywords, or you can get the heavier volume keywords as well. And then it gives you other suggestions, so you can kind of just click on all these or go into them. And this is where it takes a little bit of nuance. There's some other common video tags here, garden ideas. And then what you can do is you come in here and copy to clipboard. So one thing that I like to do if I've got a concept for a particular product concept is I'll start to kind of formulate all of the various keywords here and put them in. And then I can use these to go to the influencer and say, hey, you have complete creative freedom. I trust you. I love your content. You know the voice of yourself and your customers more than I do. However, what I would really like to have is this gardening ideas for home 5-minute crafts. Like maybe that's the keyword I wanted to hone in on. So I'll just say, hey, can we weave that into the video and maybe concept around that a little bit so we can capitalize on the keyword search volume. So that's one other little trick that I'll use. I'll also provide them with a link. I use a direct link, so I don't typically use a lot of canonical URLs or Pixelfy URLs. I'll just use the generic link. One other thing that can entice some of these influencers is if they use an Amazon affiliate link, they can also get around 5% of any sales that generate. So they may want to use their own Amazon affiliate link. So that's something else that you can come to your agreement on. So that's it, guys. Pretty quick 8-step process. Again, I've documented that here, as well as the tracker sheet and keyword planner. I'm leaving it in the link below. So if you want access to this, go ahead and click that link. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this strategy. Again, it's not rocket science. It is a numbers game. So deploy it into your business literally today. This is something that you can action. Not many Amazon sellers are doing it. Amazon gives you a tremendous amount of rank juice when you deploy it. So leverage this. It's a killer strategy. It's part of Seller 3.0, the brand builders and the data hounds, and combining those worlds together. Hope this video was valuable, guys. If this is your first time here and you haven't discovered my channel yet, hit the subscribe button down below. Would love to have you as part of this community. If you're already part of the Heist community, you guys know I love you. Give me some love with the like button in the comments down below. Help feed the YouTube algo. And until next time, cheers.